Welcome in to Let's Be Honest. I'm your host, Kristen Cavallari, and what a fun episode today. Yes. It's a Laguna Beach high school reunion, essentially, at my house. We have Jessica, Hoosie, and Alex.
Hi.
So excited to have you guys here. So we just had a bit of a wild weekend, I would say.
Yep.
We were in Nashville, decided to stay downtown for a couple days. So you guys have never been to Nashville, right?
Never. And you obviously can tell by my lovely raspy voice that it was a good weekend.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. Yeah. So figured the girls were coming in town. We're going to have to do it right. So we stayed downtown the last 2 nights and we really did it up right.
So fun.
We did.
What was your guys' favorite part?
I think Broadway. Like yesterday doing the day thing on Broadway was like, I feel like that's like how you do Nashville.
Like classic day drinking on Broadway.
Bumping around. Yeah.
And just like the people watching, so good. And the music.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And it just gets better as the drinks roll in.
It's weird how that works. Things just get better and better with each drink. Okay, so we wanted to give you guys a little insight into Laguna Beach, the show. And obviously we had the Back to the Beach podcast. You guys all came on, which was really fun. But I felt like it would be even more fun to have the gals together to really just pull back the curtain and just go for it.
Let's do it.
We were just recapping a little bit, just talking about high school shit. And we're like, God, some of this stuff we used to do is like just insane.
But it was so much fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. Like when people say that like they don't like their high school moments, like I feel sad for them because I feel like we had so much fun.
We really did it right. We lifted up. We peaked in high school. Here we are still talking about it 20 years later. We haven't been able to move on from it.
It's still following us.
It's still everywhere we go. Wait, do you guys, our 20-year high school reunion is literally coming up.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. In like a year.
Yes.
From
right now.
That really dates us.
Wow.
How did that happen? It blows my mind, honestly.
Did you guys go to the 10?
No.
You went, right?
No, because I had just had Sailor like 4 or 5 days before.
Right.
Did you go?
No.
I was pregnant.
I'm
so
sorry.
it was like Yeah.
I went.
How was it?
Yeah, tell us about it, Jess.
So good.
Will the 20-year be better?
Do you think
so much better?
Yeah, we should all try to really go.
No,
I'm
counting down. I can't wait.
Oh,
I've been living for this for 20 years.
Yeah, right.
It's finally almost here.
Will be fun.
It'll be so fun.
Yeah. Well, who's planning it?
I don't know.
It's like someone's in charge.
The class.
Of it. Yeah.
Is it the
The class president, I think.
What's it called?
Valedictorian. But I think Emily planned the 10-year.
Okay, so I wonder if she also plans the 20.
I don't know.
We'll
have to find that out.
I think it'll happen. There's no way they wouldn't. Yeah.
Someone's got to be.
Well, if not, I'll do it.
Great, perfect.
We're doing it now.
Yeah, this is it right here. Well, and we got to see Jason yesterday. He came and visited us on Broadway, which was really fun.
Has he been on the podcast yet?
So he was on the Back to the Beach podcast.
Okay.
But he is going to come on this one with Dr. Amen to talk about brain health.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Yeah. So that'll be really good. At one point I told him to stop over today, but I don't know. Maybe got a little sidetracked.
Yeah. We're a little tired.
slow.
A little tired today.
So when you guys look back on Laguna Beach, on the show specifically, what are your overall feelings of it?
Cringe.
Really?
Oh.
No, I mean, it was fun. But
Yeah. But there's definitely moments.
like, does anyone want to be filmed at 15 acting a fool?
Or 17.
Or 17? I was 15.
18.
Were you?
No, we were juniors.
Yeah.
I was like,
we
no,
had our
you
driver's
even
license.
drive it.
You were
I
at least
graduated
16.
at 17. No, it was sophomore.
Wait, how old are you?
No,
it
we
was
were
just
junior.
We were
So
juniors.
16. But I think it started filming before I turned 16. I think.
That's
Well, how old are you right now?
36.
Oh, so you are a year younger, so that's possible.
I don't know.
in the very
Maybe I was
beginning.
16 or like
You were
just
probably
freshly
16
or whatever.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you were younger like that.
Yeah. I didn't know you graduated at 17. That's wild.
I know.
I skipped a grade. I'm so intelligent.
Look at you go. Thank God, because it got you on the show. What do you guys think when you look back on it?
I love it. I mean, obviously there's moments that are like awkward and like I can't believe that's out there forever at our young age, but it's like look at us now. We're still like embracing the experience. So
You had like the best like one-liners.
The
Like,
best.
You were so
like,
funny.
You and Talon both like
yeah.
just like the things that would come out of your mouth. Like now as an adult, I'm like, that was like so witty.
I know.
So
funny.
smart and funny.
Like we're over here saying the dumbest shit imaginable,
I know.
and you're hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I was like fortunate in a way. Like I didn't have a big storyline. Like that was your guys's like place to be. So I was like a fill-in. So I was just there. Like you guys had so much more weight to carry.
You were the comedic relief.
Yeah. Like the friend, like Jessica,
And
Jason's
you still
calling
are
you.
to this day. So
Great
rude.
lines. Great lines.
Great one-liners. Yeah.
That's hilarious. What about you?
I mean, I feel like it's a mixed bag of emotions. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful, and then like I'm haunted
Yeah.
by
yeah.
by you know, like obviously like little moments or a big moment, like but it's overall like wonderful, you know.
I feel like if like people ask us, would you do it again? Do
Right.
you regret it? And every single one of us say we don't regret it. We would
Yeah.
totally do it again.
Yeah.
So while it's like cringy in certain times, it's like you
I also
learned a
think-
lot, you know?
Totally.
There's something really sweet about the show because we're so bombarded with reality shows now that like because it was that first of its kind movement, like that will never happen again.
Ever.
No.
And like
Right.
it was very much real in the
Totally.
sense of like, yeah, we had to like have set up times to go talk, but like we like there was nothing to know what we were doing. So
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, we're gonna talk about that person.
It was.
Like
It
there
was pretty
no
raw and real.
there was no like forward thinking of like what our future would be after. So
Right.
like we weren't motivated by
Yep.
what was gonna come.
Right, where now people go on a reality show specifically to like create a career out of it, where that was
Right,
never a
right.
thing. We had no one to
No.
look to for
We
that.
didn't even have like social media. Like now these people go
Yeah.
on shows and they're like now an
Right.
influencer
There's, like,
or
a
whatever. Like
platform
we didn't
set.
have any of that.
Which honestly, thank God, because
Oh my gosh.
I would have been even a bigger train wreck if
Yeah.
I was social media.
If
Right,
someone could
right.
record me like doing appearances at 18,
Oh God.
I don't even like. I have locked that out of my memory forever.
Right. Well, just like zero accountability. Like we were just out in the wild thinking we're like,
Hot shit.
yeah.
We were.
We
hot.
were.
Yeah, we were. We were. I feel like, I mean, we took advantage of it in the best way
Yes.
at that
Yes, we
time.
did.
But looking back, you're like, someone could have been there along the way to be like, okay, you got to like refocus or do this. But it's like,
But we
it
wouldn't
made
have.
the experience.
No,
we wouldn't have
Yeah,
even if
no,
someone
that's
did
true.
that.
Because
Like,
when you're that age, you're like, I'm going to
you're
do
living
what
it.
I
It was
want.
like it was like going from high school to like a college like experience, and now you're
The College of
yeah.
Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what
Which was a great time.
Hollywood College.
That was my college experience.
Oh,
Okay,
Hollywood.
what's like the one thing that just stands out in everyone's head of like, God damn it, that was like the worst thing I could have done? Like, what's one moment for everybody overall?
I mean, we could all look at me for that one. And mine definitely was the Kava and Jessica situation.
When you guys got in a fight.
I just feel like it's now having kids too. Like, like my heart and my gut is like, I just would never want anyone to talk that way or be, but again, it's high school and you do catty things and you're girls, but like to have that like live forever. And then not only that, but I like loved Jessica too. It was like, we weren't like best friends like senior year, but like we definitely were friends in some moments. Like,
Listen, we've been sharing a bed all weekend. Okay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're good.
Right.
You know, like
Things are fine.
Yeah, like
we've been fine since
Yeah.
that happened. We were fine.
Yeah.
After the show aired, we would like
be like,
we
oh
were
my.
still be great. We were still great friends. So, but
Well,
it's
because
just
on
a,
the
like,
opposite side, like that's an embarrassing moment for me too. Like not standing up for myself and being like, okay, whatever you want. You know, like
Yeah.
that doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't look good either.
No.
You know.
Right.
So I get it. Like you
and I feel like that was like
were the
like
aggressor technically,
Yeah.
so you're like,
was.
I'm not
Yeah.
trying to take
The
away that like
aggressor.
you know
No.
bad moment from you either. But it's like I don't think either one of us
No.
shined in that time.
It wasn't a shiny moment.
No.
It's hard
It
to
was,
really shine on that show ever, to be
Yeah.
honest. I don't think I had one shiny moment.
Yeah, were there any?
I don't think so. Except for maybe Trey, because they were always showing him in a good light. Like, that's nice,
True
Trey.
that. Why
do
That's
they
love him so
really
much?
nice. You're such a
Charity
good
guy.
guy.
I love that for him.
Yeah, that's really nice.
So nice
Good
for
for
him.
him.
Yeah.
What about you, Hoosie?
Again, like I feel like I was like okay, but like some of like the fiesta party, like so fun, like not a very shiny moment, but just the fact that we were like consuming and that was out there, like
hammered.
kind of gnarly. Yeah,
Hammered at
I
like
think it
2
like fully showed
p.m.
me like pouring
Oh, yeah.
a margarita.
You know what it was?
in a
It was
red
the
cup.
margarita mix.
The
They
mix.
couldn't actually show the
Right,
alcohol, but they
right.
showed you pouring the
Right.
mix in. Like, oh, what are
Oh,
they drinking?
I wonder what that
No.
is.
After
And then we're
school on like a
hammered.
Friday, I know, but I mean it I don't know.
That could have been worse for sure, though.
Worse.
I mean, we were just talking about this whole weekend. Like, we got after it in Laguna, and I think a little bit differently than other schools. Like Laguna, we grew up quickly.
Totally.
We had access to a lot of things. It's obviously a wealthy community. I think in really wealthy communities, parents kind of like look the other way.
Right.
And we got into a lot of trouble. Like that was a normal Friday.
Totally. That was a normal thing to do. It wasn't like we just did that out of the blue.
Right.
It's like the partying was just like that in Laguna.
That's what we did.
It was like also a very hippie community. So I feel like that also played like a big role versus like some of the other towns next door. It's like parents are very much like, you know, it kind of involved, like knew what we were doing and like it was okay. Like
that's
true. They were kind
of
doing it too.
It was more acceptable.
All right, this one is for all of my parents out there. You guys have heard me talk about them before and I love them, which is the brand Saie, the pediatrician approved super powered chewable vitamin. While most children's vitamins are filled with 5 grams of sugar and can contribute to a variety of health issues, Saie is made with 0 sugar and 0 gummy junk, yet it tastes great and is perfect for picky eaters. Saie fills in the most common gaps in modern children's diets to provide the full body nourishment our kids need with a yummy taste they love. It's non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, allergy-free, gelatin-free, nut-free, and everything else you can possibly imagine. Saie is designed for kids of all ages and sent straight to your door so parents have one less thing to worry about. I can't say enough good stuff about Saie. My kids never give me a hard time about eating them. The fact that it's delivered straight to your door is such a game changer. It's one less thing that we parents have to worry about. And each kid gets their own bottle and they can customize them and decorate them with stickers that come with. So it just makes the whole process really fun. I've worked out a special deal with Saie for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to saiehealth.com/honest. This deal is not available on their regular website. So go to HIYAHEALTH.com/honest and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults. Let's talk about a makeup brand, you guys. Saie. Saie is an award-winning, clean and sustainable makeup brand sold exclusively at Sephora. Saie has several award-winning bestsellers, including Best of Allure winner, Slip Tint SPF 35 Tinted Moisturizer, Dew Blush, and the Glowy Super Gel. Saie is best known for makeup essentials that deliver their iconic signature Saie Glow, an effortless, no makeup look with nourished, happy skin and a lit from within glow. Each makeup product is packed with good-for-you ingredients. They also leave out over 2,000 ingredients deemed potentially harmful, which I personally love. And obviously, I think we all know how important clean makeup is nowadays too, because our skin is our biggest organ. So we definitely want to be careful what we're putting on our skin. Glowy Super Gel, which is their #1 bestseller and it's TikTok viral, is the ultimate effortless, no makeup glowing product. It's a multi-use illuminator that hydrates and brightens skin for a fresh, dewy look. When applied, skin immediately feels refreshed and looks lit from within without chunky glitter or shimmer. That no makeup look is my absolute favorite, especially for summer. Just amping up that dewy, bright, hydrated look, I think is so beautiful on every skin tone. So I am so excited that I've recently discovered this Glowy Super Gel because I'm going to be wearing it all summer long. So guys, you can shop now at Sephora. Here's another brand that I absolutely love, and that is Bon Charge. Bon Charge is a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. Founded on science and inspired by nature, all Bon Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern-day world. Their extensive range of premium wellness products help you sleep better, perform better, have more energy, recover faster, balance hormones, reduce inflammation. I mean, the list is endless. From blue light glasses and infrared saunas to red light therapy to EMF management and circadian-friendly lighting, Bon Charge products help you naturally address the issues of our modern-day way of life effortlessly and with maximum impact. My personal favorite products from Bon Charge are their red light face mask and their EMF blocking laptop pads. The mask helps with wrinkles and fine lines. If you have a sore jaw, eczema, migraines, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, it's also just relaxing. It helps with razor burn and ingrown facial hair. Guys, I'm not going to lie. I've been using their face mask and I've gotten a lot of compliments on my skin lately. Just people have been saying that I'm glowing. My fine lines look good, I guess, if you can say it that way, because I do have them. But I do feel like, I don't know, I just look refreshed and awake, which, hey, I'll take that any day. Bond Charge's products are HAS and FSA eligible, providing up to 40% off. Go to bondcharge.com and use coupon code HONEST to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com and use coupon code HONEST to save 15%.
Okay, is there anything where you're like, the producers really did me dirty in that situation where you felt like they like set you up, or maybe like things were twisted around and you're just like, it was all because of MTV?
Everything.
I know. I totally get that.
There was one scene I remember that Jason and I were at dinner and they like cut to like us playing footsie under the table and me being like, why don't you come over? Like my mom's gone or something. I'm like, something weird like that. And I'm like, that didn't even happen.
Yeah.
Like that's not even true. And my mom wasn't gone. And I was like, that like at 16, like that seems like that was like very risque to me.
Right.
Well, that
like
is kind
that
of
at
pushing
all.
the
You know what I
boundary.
mean? I was like,
Right.
that was kind of gross.
So did they
know?
get that with wild lines where you would literally just say audio lines? And they
Yeah,
would
I
plug
probably
them
was
in?
like telling you like, oh yeah, my mom's not home right now. Like,
Oh,
whatever,
right.
you know,
Or they
something
take it
like
from
that.
another scene and
right.
splice it
Like
in.
if you don't see, oh, they shot to my feet and had me saying that. Like,
Right.
of course I wasn't saying that because they would have showed my face.
So I
if
always
did.
said when it came out, if you don't actually see the words coming out of my mouth,
Yep.
I didn't say it there.
Yep. And if you go back and really listen, like you can tell the like volume is
Yep.
different.
Yep.
Well, the
too.
editing in general, like Talon would have short hair and then long hair, or like I was like
Oh my
10
gosh.
pounds heavier in one thing scene, and the next scene I was like back to like being like thinner again. It's like it was. I feel like for me, like that. I think our storyline with Jason really did me dirty.
Yeah.
Like I was really stealing her boyfriend. Like especially the winter formal.
Oh yeah.
They were not together.
Wait, remind me what happened at Winter Formal?
No, we were still together.
No, you guys had
Oh,
been
my
back
God.
together. I had asked him before, and he said yes.
Yeah, but you had asked him like long before.
Yes,
Right,
and then you
right.
guys had got together.
And I was like, that's fine. I'll go with Jake. I don't want to babysit
And
him
I asked you.
anyways.
Yeah.
Remember? I was
Yeah.
like, enjoy.
I actually think we might have filmed a scene where like I did ask like, hey Jess, or called you, hey, like I'm totally fine going with Jake or whoever it was.
Right.
Like, so you and Jason can go together. And
I
you were
was
like,
like, nope.
no, it's totally cool. And I was like, Jason, go with Jessica. And he's like, it's fine. Like, we're all going to be together. Like,
We're
and I
literally
was like,
all
I
in the
don't-
same limo together and
Right.
stuff. You know, it like
Yeah.
wasn't a.
Yeah. So I feel like
Yeah, that wasn't
ours-
fair on you because that's not how.
I feel like it really made me look like I was like the aggressor and like really trying to steal Jason away from Jessica,
Yeah.
which was like just timepieces edited when
Yep.
there was never a cheat. Like he never cheated on Jessica with, or what is it?
Yeah, never
So-
cheated on
Cheated,
Jessica with you.
right,
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was never the reason why they broke up, or the time periods were so far that. So,
But don't you feel like
No.
with the show, like in that, because the producers kind of would like tell you things to like feed you a little bait before something. So it like, even though you know what was actually going on, you can't help but kind of fall into like the situation
well, I think
happening.
me and Jason
Yeah.
dating in general was
Right.
that. Like it
Right.
was like, oh, like
They,
you
like,
guys have
took
been
it and
friends for so
ran.
long. Let's go. Like, do you guys want to go to dinner? And we're like, that's why it's so awkward in those moments.
know.
Like, oh, I like your face. Like,
Oh
my
yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so funny. Or like that was the thing. Like we'd be sarcastic about something, like fucking around, and then they would use it
Yes.
to make it look like it was real. And I'd be
Yes.
like, remember, like we were walking on one side of the street. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Okay, you, Jessica, Hoosie, and I are walking on one side of the street. And there's a producer on the other side, and they're like, just, look over at her and like, make faces or whatever. And Jessica Reynolds, the producer,
Yeah.
would like stick her tongue out us and stuff, and we'd be joking around like, what a bitch.
Yeah.
And then they made it look like we were talking to you and Taylor. Like
Yeah.
you guys were on the other
they
side.
did the same thing to us.
Like that's how
Yes.
we actually were, which
Yes.
isn't how it was.
And
But
I
it was so
also think,
rude.
like, I don't think people realize like how close we
I
were.
know.
And
yeah,
us
that's
three.
so missed.
I
That
know.
like it was never like everyone's like, oh, you're friends with like Hoosie and Kristen. I was like, we were like best friends.
Yeah.
Like that whole part of the show, but I get it because like it needed to be divided to have storylines, I guess.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, you can't have a show without drama, obviously. But like, I remember even watching it back to the Beach, being like, God, was I really not friends with Alex Merle? And it's like, no, I'm falling for their shit. Like, this is what they want. Like, no, we were all good friends. Even Taylor. Like, I didn't hate Taylor the same way that the show made it seem like.
No.
But
and it was so hard watching like the VHS tape that came too, and you're like, that's not even what we were talking about, and we didn't actually say that, and then you'd be like, what the heck? Like, you have to relive it, and then like
each other,
and be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, because we would get the tape like the day before it would air.
Yeah.
Probably just to get ready for it. Like, if you think
I
about
just
it,
talked
like, by
to
the
somebody literally before I came here that was like, well, you had say in like what was shown. I'm like, no, we didn't. We didn't even know what was going to air until the literal day before. They gave us 24 hours to like call our grandmas and be like, sorry, grandma, we're acting, you know? Like,
and I mean, guys, like, I think about it all the time. Like, we were so young to have our lives manipulated like that.
Right.
Like, that's the one thing for me where I'm just like, I don't know, that should maybe be illegal in a lot of ways. Like, we were children.
Well,
and
and
like,
can
I'm
we
not
also-
playing the victim card, but like, it was really difficult.
and
at
we
times.
also like didn't get paid
all the
At
time.
like
all.
at all.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
And then like the producers are like rolling around in their Bentleys, like after manipulating a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds. I'm like,
By the way,
y'all,
still don't make a fucking penny.
nothing.
So while it's on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix and shit,
now that it's back
still
on,
don't make
I'm
any.
like, can you pay my anxiety that my kids are now in middle school and are like, my friend watched your show, Mom. I'm like,
my
oh
God.
no, you know, like,
yeah.
I'm like, how about some royalties? You know,
No,
like,
literally,
good night.
throw us a
so,
bone.
so that always irritated me too. I'm like, y'all are like causing like a lot of stress, you know,
lot.
and then. And we did not really. I mean, we're all fine and everything's great, but I'm just like.
But for a kid, it's
we got very
difficult.
taken advantage of, and so like we just didn't know it at the time. You know,
I think that's like why we were felt separated, because they wanted like the three of you to film, and then they wanted me, Taylor, and Morgan to film. So it was like filming wise, like we were never together because they hadn't needed those, but then we were all friends on the back end.
Yeah.
But I really thought that I was gonna be like the funny girl on the show. Like I was
I love that
like,
so
this is
much.
great. I was like, I like thought I was so funny. And then I would get the tapes and I like would go white. I'm like, I'm the mean girl.
I know.
What?
God.
I was like, I was just trying to be myself.
Right.
Like, that's how you really are. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Really?
No.
I was like, maybe I need to do self-reflection here.
But it is interesting because like at that age, I think it's very rare for like a 17-year-old, let's say, to like know who they are. So I remember being like, whoa, am I this way? And if I am, I don't want to be like that. So I think it actually made me like grow up and hopefully become nicer.
For
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
I feel
You do
like
the
that's the one
self-reflection.
like great benefit is
Yeah.
that you're like. I remember watching it being like, oh, that is not a great
not
quality.
the best.
That is not an attractive
Yeah.
trait. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah.
change that real quick, you know? So that was kind of nice.
Yeah.
Even if it
Oh,
was
yeah.
manipulated in a bit, you're like, okay, well, even if it is, I still don't want to ever act like that. So let's get that under control, you know? So that's kind of nice.
I had a lot of those moments.
Oh.
Same.
Oh God, we're really like that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, without the show, just high school in general, what if you could go back and relive any day, what would it be?
Oh God, a day.
Or like a little time period in high
Yeah.
school? Because I mean, we had a lot of fun.
so
There were
many
so
good
many
ones.
highlights.
Well, I
Like
think-
on, off, or off camera.
I could say, or either one. If it was an on-camera moment too,
Yeah.
that's fine. But
well, like for me, I feel like we've been like reminiscing like before Laguna started filming, like because that's when we met. Alex met you.
Yep,
Which I feel
sophomore
like isn't
year.
a known story. Yeah, like you.
no,
guys-
sorry, freshman year, the middle of freshman year. Yeah.
Middle of
It
freshman
was like
year.
the summer or something.
Right.
No,
Oh,
because it was
right.
driver's ed. It was like
Right.
the second semester of
'Cause
freshman
You
year.
came,
Yeah.
you came to Laguna sophomore year,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So it was like those moments before when we were first getting to know you and you were
Yeah.
becoming involved. Like Alex was like, oh my gosh, I met this like really fun girl at driver's ed, and we all became friends, and then like ended up having like boyfriends that were kind of friends
Yep.
like that period of time, but they also could drive, so they could give us rides everywhere.
Hell yeah.
I just had a memory pop in my head. And sorry, Jess, I don't think you were in this one, but do you guys remember we would all get dressed at my house and we'd wear like these big old heels, like
God, like the
and
platform.
I lived at like top of the world, which like for people who don't know, it's like but like the canyon is like right beneath you.
Yep.
So we would. Do you remember we'd walk the
The
fire road?
trail.
And
We'd
which
like
is-
party up there.
Yeah,
Oh
and in our
my
little
God.
heels, we were like click, 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 click,
Yeah.
and it was
and
like
our like full going
we'd
out
like
outfits.
sneak out, and it was like pitch black dark on a mile long canyon road to go meet up with God knows who.
Because you could get to like the other valley or whatever where all the other houses were. So it would be a party over yonder.
We would
go like hike a mile.
I
It
just
was a
remember
fire
the
trail,
like
but
clickety
still.
clack of our heels,
Oh
like
my God.
going down like the steep like.
Yeah.
I mean, the shit we used to do, or like we were talking last night, like our freshman year, there was another girl, Bailey, who used to hang out with us too, and we'd be like, "Dad, I'm spending the night at Bailey's. Dad, I'm spending the night at Alex's. Dad, you know."
Like
and then, but then there were sometimes we'd be like, "Now where do we go?
Where do we go?
At like 4 a.m. We're like, "Wait, now what?"
Yeah.
I
think I slept in my car a couple times.
Right.
We're like,
right.
we really
Because we
fucked
couldn't
that
go
up.
home. None of us could go to either house at like 2
We didn't
in the
think about that.
morning.
No, didn't think about that.
No,
we just wanted to make sure we could stay out late. And then I was like, oh no. And then we'd be like, okay, what's the earliest we could go to someone's house? You know, that's like realistic.
And not have
We'd
it
like
look
walk in the
bad.
door with like 2 hours of sleep. Like,
Right.
oh
my God.
Kristen like didn't have pajamas. We had to like
Right. Like have a whole story behind
Yes.
it. Like,
Oh my God.
they had to
I
go
my
somewhere.
own phone line. So like which was like so dumb of my parents. I'm
But
like,
that was such a
I'd be
big
like,
deal.
hey, reach the Merles, but it was like my line.
Yep.
So we'd give it all to the parents.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I
Like,
had like a
leave it-
whole system.
They're like, leave your parents' number. I'm like, give them my number.
Right.
Our poor
Right.
kids aren't going to get away with anything. Because we know, but B, like this day and age, it's like we were like the last people that could really live it up, you know?
It's so different.
But do you feel like, because like my mom has always said, but watch, they'll be one step ahead of you. Like, do you feel like it's different though? Like now with like social media. So even like you can put trackers on phones.
Yeah.
I've heard too, there's ways for them to like turn it
No,
off.
and they can increase their bubble to like make it like, I don't know how. So I'm
that's what
trying to figure all that out.
They figure shit out. So we're like, oh, they can't get anything past us.
Yeah,
but like,
no, they will.
will.
They'll just be way more sneaky and not as dumb as being like,
literally
in the car for 2
I bet
hours.
they all talk and they're like, parents know how to do this, so you have to do that, and like hide this in that app.
Or like sneaking out of my house because my room was on like the main level and there was no screen or anything on it. So we would just open it up, hop out. Bye.
We would.
Yeah.
I remember too one time like sneaking back in. I stepped on the blow dryer, so it starts going off, and we're like makes this frantic rumbling, and we've like got it off, got settled, jumped in bed, and your dad actually came in to like check.
He did.
And for like timing wise, we like had made it. Like we all were in bed, just like
holy shit! I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely got taken home by the cops a few times after I'd snuck out. My dad's like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
I thought you were
That was like
sleeping."
our thing, though. Cops would get called. Like I remember getting put in a paddy wagon.
We were underage.
Yeah.
For how
We
like
weren't allowed to be
wild
out
we
past
were,
10.
like there was a lot of cops out. Like
I know. Laguna
looking
has a
for us.
ton.
But I mean,
Yeah.
they like rightfully so.
Well, yeah.
All the kids party there all the time.
right.
They would like throw cake parties in the canyon.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
we would like go through like the clickety clack store I was just saying, like we would like go through the bushes and like rocks and boulders and like there's probably like a pack of coyotes over there.
Literally.
And we're like, oh, let's get a beer. Like there was like no place. If there was no place, that's where we would go.
That's where we would go. I had a party one time. I had a Halloween party. You guys remember this? I think my dad was on his honeymoon or something. And raging party. I was a nurse, like one of those little slutty nurses.
I
Like,
remember
I have pictures.
Yes. I cleaned that house fucking spotless. I was like, my dad will never know. He found one beer can underneath the couch and he was like, you had a party. I was like, God damn it. I was so close. That was like one beer can. Although now that I'm an adult, I'm like, he probably just said that, honestly. And then I just caved. You know, I was like, shit, you're right. I'm sorry. I had some friends over. Like, that's what I would do as a parent to try to catch my kids.
Yeah.
Sure. Be like, I'm gonna trap them.
Exactly. Or like the neighbor told me that, you know, you get some people over.
Oh, you're like, I did it. I'm sorry.
Who is the damn neighbors? Good thing I don't have any neighbors. Or no, not a good thing. I can't use that on my
No.
kids. Well, the neighbor
neighbor
Down there, way under.
miles away told me they saw a lot of cars coming in.
Oh my God. Or like I remember I would like take out my mom's car before we could drive. And but then do you remember this?
Yes.
Do you remember when your mom lived in CDM?
Yeah.
And you took out her car?
Oh yeah.
I remember.
Do you remember when I crashed
Yes.
it picking up
It was
Bailey?
like a Mercedes, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
I was in the
BMW.
car
Okay,
with
okay.
you.
Okay,
It was
this
like
is a
beep,
good
beep, beep,
story.
crash.
So
no.
this is like forever gonna haunt me, but like, so we go to pick up Bailey, me and Hoosie, and my mom was out of town. It was like her brand new X5.
Oh no.
Don't have my
I
license.
forgot about this story. That
Go
was
to
so
go
scary.
to Pelican, like Newport Coast, and Michaela was with us.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is the house, and I like thought it wasn't. I was like, haha. Wrong house, Michaela. Like, that's the wrong house. We'll
Like
never
make
go to
the
wrong
friend go
house.
find you or like tricking them.
No, I was like, yeah, that's the house, Michaela. Like, no, it's not. I was like, I'm gonna reverse because it's the wrong house. And I like, my karma, bam, like right into like some tiny car, and I panicked and I tried to go back into drive, still in reverse.
Do it again.
No.
Yeah. Fully hit it again.
Bailey,
the
Bailey,
alarm goes off. Bailey comes out. Oh God,
and
sorry.
No. Keep going, Michaela. They run in the car, and like in the gated community, they always write down your license plate. So I was like, oh no, I'm so screwed.
Someone came out of their house to like see what was going on, and we just, I think we.
You just left.
I wasn't driving.
I was 15.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would have been fucked. What'd you say?
She goes,
I wasn't the driver.
I
don't think it wasn't like a crash, but it was enough to
no
like
one was in it. It was a parked car.
But you know, you're like frantic, so it's like try to go drive, and you're thinking you're driving, you reverse.
And we look at my mom's car, not a fucking scratch.
Oh wow!
I was
Thank
like,
God.
Ooh. Like my mom was so scary in high school. Like my dad was cool, but my mom was scary. And I was like, okay, they got back home. No one talked about it. No one called about the license plate. Thought I was in the clear. Well, the fucking neighbor.
Goddamn neighbors, man.
And I like, oh my God, I think I was grounded for the summer.
Oh, you must have been.
Yeah.
Was it your mom that started writing her mileage down on her car?
Yes.
Yes. Oh wait, that's a good idea.
Yeah, to make sure.
Yes.
That is funny.
Because she was going back and forth. So.
Oh my God. That's
boy.
actually genius.
Yeah, that is a really
or
good
like the
idea.
parents that will put water in the vodka bottles and stuff. I remember
measure the bottle.
Yeah, we used to steal wine from my dad all the time. And my dad one time sat me down and he was like, you see this bottle? This is a $200 $200 bottle. You see this one? $150. He's like, you take another fucking bottle, you're dead. I was like, oh,
Like it wasn't even that good.
He's like, oh, shit wine anyways.
Oh my God, you're probably like pounding it. Like,
well, yeah, like you're not drinking wine to sip it for its flavor at that point. You're just like, cool,
oh my God.
booze.
So insane.
Yeah.
We're lucky to be alive, quite honestly, some of the shit we did. But yeah, we stole my brother's car one time too when we were 15. I mean, just like, because you would lose your license, I think, if you got caught for that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't think you could drive till 18.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it was like a thing. I don't know why we were so ballsy.
We literally thought we could get away with anything. Well, we
thought we were so smart.
Wait, I have another. Do you remember us driving? It was us three again. Sorry, Jess.
I hope
Listen, I was a really good girl. Okay, I went to bed at 8:30.
This was like those the sophomore, junior year. This was like pre,
right before,
and then
MTV
everything
came.
else. Yeah, that was like junior, senior.
Yeah.
So like all these moments, but I feel like were we worse then? Like it sounds really bad.
I think
those
we were.
phases.
I would say we were worse before. I think
so
like
too.
freshman,
Before
sophomore
we got
year,
our
we were
license.
worse. Yeah, we really got it out of our systems.
mellowed out by senior year.
But y'all had
So
like y'all had
renowned.
older boyfriends, like freshmen with like senior boyfriends. Like once
Yeah.
they all started graduating, you were kind of like, oh, it's
Well, because
boring
like
now.
I,
You know?
I remember senior year, we were just like, ugh, fuck all these people. This is so lame.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it was like it was different. We didn't have like the same motivation to like go out and get fucked up. And, like,
Totally.
when you're younger and it's like all older people, you're like, oh my god.
Like at the cool party.
Yeah. We were over it at that point.
Well, because then you're the senior girls, and all of the guys are dating like the freshman girls,
Yeah.
just like we kind of did.
Exactly.
So we're like, damn it, like
Yeah.
we're
Although,
those girls now.
I dated Sam, hot Sam,
Ooh.
second semester. Oh, no,
Yeah.
first. I can't remember because I
in
dated Matt
senior year. I
Liner.
think it was
Senior year.
Yeah.
Sam.
It's got to be
Yeah,
first.
I think it was this. It was
Because
towards the
Sweet
summer.
Sam.
I think
You're right, it
towards
was
the summer
Sweet
because you
Sam.
dated Matt Liner during the fall. 'Cause he was like fully football. At
Oh,
that
you're
point.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then I dated Sam second semester senior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I went for a senior.
Okay. Well, you have to edit this out.
You
But
were-
he
you were-
was he boned
Wait. When?
at prom.
Senior year?
Yes.
That's like, is that a crossover with Kristen?
So I thought it was the first semester.
Wait,
but don't
hold
put
on
that
a second.
in.
That's
Hold
like
the fuck up! I
that's
didn't really
some-
think about this.
We were at
Wait,
Mike
who did
Jennings'
you go to
house.
prom with? Who was your
Talon, but I didn't want to be with him because I
Oh.
wanted to be with Sam. He had sex with her. Call Sam right now.
Yeah, get him on the line, and then we'll be like, "You're too hot to be mad at." I'm sorry.
I'm over it. It's fine.
Because we were at Mike
we were
Jennings.
100% hanging out.
We were at Mike Jennings'
'cause it went
after
into the
party.
summer when we moved to LA.
And she like disappeared, and I'm like, where the fuck are you?
My little high school heart is crushed.
Little sweet Sam's not so sweet.
Dick.
I'm not going to the 20-year reunion anymore.
Well, he lives in New York, so I don't think he's
Fuck
flying
him, you're right,
out.
I'll go.
I
He
can see
can't
him
go.
not going.
Oh my God, I'm devastated now. Oh,
No.
I don't even know where to go.
Sam, scandal.
Okay, here's something that we all know and love, and that is Facebook. On Facebook, I don't just scroll mindlessly. You guys can actually further your interest by going beyond the scroll and actually acting on what you learn. So, for example, if you're really into cooking like I am, then you can find different Facebook groups that are specific to that. Like I found one that we all share recipes on. We just all shared a chicken piccata recipe. And I just think it makes it really fun because I personally like to see how everyone's looks at the end of it because I am nothing close to a food stylist. So I'm always really impressed to see how people style their food or add a little garnish to elevate it. That's my favorite part. And also little tips and tricks that people have. So if you're like me and you love cooking, Facebook is the perfect place to go and find a real sense of community, people with similar interests, whether it be cooking or anything else, decorating, fashion. I mean, the list is endless. Cooking, I love, obviously. And so I have found a couple of different groups on Facebook where we all share the same recipe. And I just think it's really fun to see how differently they all turn out or how similar they all are. And the other thing that I think that's just really cool is that we know there are real people behind this content. So it just humanizes it and makes it so that there is a real sense of community. You guys should try making your own cooking reel, post it, see where it will take you. So if you guys want to discover more and find your community, visit Facebook. All right, you guys, let's talk about a clothing brand that I love, and that is Roback. The best way to describe Roback is best fit, best feel. They recently launched a new women's line, and comfortable would be an understatement. If you like being comfortable while still looking cute when out and about during the day, Roback's for you. Let me tell you about their active dress, which is actually my new favorite. It's made with their signature GTG technology, which allows you to keep your dress on when you're on the go and got to go. The fabric is lightweight, breathable, and just really comfortable. It's cute and functional all at the same time. You all know that I love to exercise, and I'm very particular about what I wear during my workouts. Their new Sunrise Active Shorts and Hit Tech Tank are perfect for hot summer workouts. Both items are sweat wicking and made with fabric that allows you to move freely and feel ultra comfortable while you exercise. I've also adopted this as my new go-to walking outfit. I just absolutely love them. Their Swift crew necks and tempo hoodies are so dang soft, it's unbelievable. I don't know what they did, but I can't take them off. They pair with the shorts, skirts, and even the dress so well. All right, you guys, so if you haven't already, it's now time to try out some Roback. Use the code HONEST on roback.com for a generous 20% off your first order through the end of this week. That's spelled RHOBACK.com. That's 20% off all shorts, tanks, dresses, hoodies, and more with code HONEST. Stay comfortable with Roback.
So another question that I get asked a lot, and I'm curious about you guys, is because you filmed reality TV, has it ruined reality TV for you because you understand the workings?
I watch all of the Real Housewives.
You do.
Yeah.
My mom's always like, "How can you watch this after?"
But do you
like,
watch
did?
it and
I'm
you're like analyzing it, like, oh, that probably
"Oh
didn't
yeah,
happen, or
yeah."
right?
Sometimes, or I'm like, "That you're being so fake," or you just want camera time, or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
right.
I mean, it's still like just smut, you know.
Yeah,
Do you think that's like maybe it's my perception, but I feel like it's obvious to everybody?
I think so
or maybe
too.
it's just
Well,
like,
nowadays
Right.
for
It's just
sure.
Well,
It's
there's so much out there. It's
overproduced.
like over flooded. Like it's such a thing. But when The Hills was out, and then there was like the Fringe shows after that, I didn't watch it or keep up with it, but it was like a weird like being connected to it. It was like hard to watch it, like knowing, but like wanting to support it, but also like not like it. That was more.
I think that was
harder to watch.
I couldn't watch. I
point.
couldn't watch The Hills when it was
no,
on before it was on, or
and
before I was on it.
Yeah,
because we knew what they were doing so specifically too. It was like,
right.
I mean, I didn't realize how much more like fake it was.
Right. Well, do you remember Perez Hilton used to like call it out and be like, your nails are one color in a scene, and then 2 seconds later they're another color. Like people started like really catch on, and he would call it out, which I actually kind of loved. So I do feel like that was the beginning of people being like, oh wait, maybe this stuff really isn't real.
Yeah.
But I do feel like, well, the difference is, again, we went into it innocently in the sense where like we're not trying to like get more camera time. It wasn't like, oh, I know if I bring the drama.
Right.
We were just like doing our thing, where now it's like people have a whole agenda going on to reality shows. So I think it's editing. I think it's all the same things that they were doing to us, plus people being like, I'm going to bring my A game.
Right. They like create their own narrative and put it all out there for that camera time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel like that's like what you have to do now.
It is.
Like be that
Because
vulnerable.
anybody will
and
do
out
it
there.
for anything.
Anything, yeah.
Otherwise
And
you're
we
off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like Alex was saying, even though there was like set up times and we kind of like would get like direction, be like, talk about how this person's going to prom with this person, like prompted, but none of us were like fighting for a storyline, right? Like, but it was kind of handed to you, but
They
it
had
wasn't like
writers,
that
right?
desperation.
Yeah, they had writers.
So I feel like they kind of like would like
Or like, remember like prom is a good example.
Yeah.
Like they'd be like, okay, talk about prom, you know, like it's coming up. And okay, so we talk about it like it's coming up. They're like, all right, now let's talk about it like it just happened. And we're like, okay, but how the fuck are we going to talk about it like it just happened? And we don't know what the fuck happened. But like looking back now, it's because they already knew what storyline they were going to go.
They were trying to,
you know?
Well, or do you, like, I don't know if they ever did this to y'all, but like with me, they would be like, did you hear about blah, blah, blah?
Oh,
yeah.
Cameras up. And it's like a genuine I was probably talking with you.
Oh my God.
And it's like a genuine reaction. You're
you
like,
wouldn't know, so they would feed
what?
you that. I think maybe that was a scene we did. But
yeah. And so then you're like, okay, and then you're talking about that because you're like, and it's like a bomb, you know, like it's not something like, oh, she was holding his hand, like, and so you're just like, and so then it makes you look extra.
You've got a big reaction.
Yeah, you know. So that was where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like that should be illegal, where they can just like say random shit to you to get a reaction out of you.
And especially about stuff that was going on, like when cameras weren't up. It's like that's not involved. You know,
that's crazy. But do you guys feel like it helped friendships and relationships, or made it a stressor on both?
I think it was. I think now it's helped because we all have like this bond, and now that we're older and mature, we like can like laugh about it and rehash it. And it's like, while it was good, it's like it's still like a little bit of a trauma bond. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's like we can. Here we are, almost 20 years later, still talking about it because it's like it was like core thing that happened to us that doesn't happen to everyone else, you know? Right. But I think in the moment when we didn't realize how manipulated we are, and you watch a VHS and you're like, why are you talking about me like that?
Right.
And you don't realize, I mean, sometimes it was authentic maybe, but like for the most part, it really wasn't. And so you're like, oh, yesterday you were my friend, but now today you're saying this stuff on camera. Like, it was, I think that made it a little bit harder on relationships in the moment. But I think now that like hindsight's 2020, I'm like, I would like do it all over again just for like the relationship that we all have, you know?
Yeah. Well said. I like that.
I feel like our relationship was like I feel like it was hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like because we were so close, and then they divided us. You know? So it was like naturally. Oh my voice. I'm sorry, guys.
You're crying.
So much. Just brought up so much emotion. So I feel like our relationship for sure.
Yeah, I think I was guilty to that, like feeding into it more and like letting it drive a wedge between like the dynamic the three of us had. But it's like you're so young and you're getting fed that, like you start to believe that's like, oh no, we're supposed to be like versus them,
right?
You know, when it wasn't like, if the cameras weren't there, it wouldn't have been a thing. Totally.
And even like you said, the Taylor thing, it's like you and Tay didn't like ever hate each other.
No, you guys were never like really close, but there wasn't ever really an issue until all of that.
Until MTV.
And it's like, oh, and Talon, like throw him into the mix.
There was definitely a separation in groups all of a
for
sudden.
sure.
Versus us all being like one.
Yeah.
And do you feel like, maybe it was just me, but like towards the end where it's like they'd have you do wild lines and you're like, I already know what this is going to.
I know.
But like, what option do I have here right now? Like, let's just get this over with.
There's no
you
point
know
in
what I mean?
it.
Like, oh, you want me to say that? Like, okay, fine. You know, like, you just like, let me leave.
You know? That was like your storyline.
Yeah.
That's right, though. We would like go after, we'd like drive to LA to like the sound studio and like they would give you a little script to be like, hey, say this and say it that way.
Yeah. Like, they would even do it on set though, too. Like, they'd have us go in the minivan and just record lines. Yeah. And then they could splice it in wherever they wanted. Right. You know what I realized was, because you know at the time, obviously at that age, like you make everything about you, and I was like, I was so edited, and oh my god, and I look so bad, and blah blah blah. Doing the Back to the Beach podcast, I was like, oh, everyone was edited just as much. Like, we were all in the same boat. I was over here this whole time, like it was just me. They fucked with me. Like no, they fucked with all of us.
Yeah.
They all had. You know, that there were like specific characters that they wanted us to play, and we weren't allowed to like get outside of that box. I feel like
right. Like I was very much like a pick me girl. You know, I feel like that's like the
that's
today's right now.
Yep.
And it's like behind the scenes, like what nobody else saw.
But don't you feel
not
like
so much? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just very like, okay,
I know
interesting.
it is
for you, because you guys again had like storylines. Like you would also kind of fall into your role that you already knew was like being projected and put out there.
I don't know if I did that on purpose or if that's just actually who
Right.
I was.
It's like,
I truly don't. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I don't think I knew what they wanted from me. I think I was just
well, what about
please
difference
like
between
me.
season 1, season 2? Like season 2, do you think you were like, okay, like I know my role?
But season 1, I was just like a friend of.
100%.
You know,
yeah,
I was just your friend,
yeah.
and like I was dating Dieter, but that was like a little side shoot. Like that was not main
I guess you're
storyline
right.
material.
You're right.
So I didn't know. Like, remember when season 2 started too? Like, we didn't even know who was a main character or anything until like deep into filming. Until we went to do the promo shoots. And they're like, if you're here for one day, you're a friend of, and if you're here for 2 days, you're a main character.
I forgot about that.
And that's how we found out if you were even a main character at all. Like, I never signed a fat contract or anything. I signed a little release form.
Oh, that's so interesting. I forgot about that.
Remember how fun that? Do you guys remember how fun that photo shoot was?
Oh my God, it was at the house on the
God.
beach.
On the beach
With the
and
pool,
we were all
yeah.
laughing.
That was
Like
fun.
The montage park right there.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like, okay, you get the whole cast together. We're having the time of our freaking life, having so much fun. But then on the show, it's like we all hate each other. You know, just goes to show you the difference.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. There were a lot of really fun memories, and I think like having prom and high school graduation filmed like that is pretty special. I have to say.
For sure.
There's so many good moments.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, for sure.
Funny moments, some dumb moments, but you know, all good. But yeah, it's fun. I know it's wild that we all have that experience, that bond. And I love that 20 years later, you guys are in Nashville. We just had so much fun.
Yes.
Right? It's just, it
Like,
makes me
no
so
time has
happy.
passed.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
For sure.
I feel like the last time, like, we all obviously hung out was for the Uncommon James shoot.
Yeah.
And it's like, we all get back together and it's like, okay, right
Same
back
old
where we
thing.
started.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago, the Uncommon James shoot, right?
It
Almost
is.
2.
Year and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
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 Because it was January, right?
It was January.
Yeah.
And that, and before that, we hadn't seen each other in a minute though. So
Long time. Like all of us together too.
All
Yeah.
of us together.
That was
Yeah.
like such a blessing
had
to
a
do
talk.
that because it like I think we all like reconnected when we wouldn't have, I don't think
know.
necessarily.
That was so
No.
much
So,
fun.
But
That
the
was
crew
good.
too, like us and then Talon and Jason,
Yeah.
Steven, like
Yeah.
that was like such a natural group of people to have together.
Yeah.
You know, like we actually we're so close.
Yeah.
So
I
it's like
know,
the
so
people.
fun.
Yeah.
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 For sure.
That's
It's a
so fun.
special bond. Like,
Totally.
not just for reality TV, but growing up in a small town, small high school, we all have like, even people that weren't on the show, very special bond.
I agree
Yeah.
completely. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something really special about Laguna Beach for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys at the reunion. I'm counting down the days.
I say we foreplay it.
Okay, but and by the way,
no.
no, we're not doing that. But
It'd be so fun though.
okay, but hold on. We
No.
should get like our little crew and do dinner before and then go.
Oh,
like
yeah,
let's all
yeah.
go together.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
good
no.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very
Oh,
good
that
idea.
would be
But
so
let's make sure
fun.
someone is planning it.
I think
Because-
so. No, someone will step
Has
up.
to be.
But they got to do it like now. Like my
They have to
sister
start
went to
planning it.
hers
Yeah.
a year ago, and like it was like hyped up for a year.
So I
So
know
it
that like
should happen
Steven
soon.
and Lauren's class is going to be in
Oh.
September. Like they're
Oh,
planning it. It's
see?
coming
Okay,
up.
okay.
So are they
yeah.
not doing it like, so when I went to tenure, it was like over Thanksgiving weekend. That's why I went. Cause I was like visiting my grandparents, you
So
know?
it sounds. I mean, maybe every year is different, but
Yeah.
it sounds like 2004 is having their reunion this September.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know if we'll do ours September,
In, like, the
Thanksgiving or
fall.
whatever,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I'm available.
Do you know
so.
where they're having it?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Like we had ours at the tenure at the women's club or something like
We
that.
should go
and-
crash the 04 reunion.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine?
Cameras up.
Oh,
Right,
you don't
lights.
belong here.
Oh my god.
They would be so
I wouldn't want
mad.
you. You guys have your own party. Our class is
Fuck
better.
out. Yeah, God. Actually, we don't want to go to that one.
Just kidding.
The lamest people on the planet.
Oh.
On that note, thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, wrap it up. No. Our class
gotta
was like, we were, I mean, we had a fun.
We were the best.
We had a fun class. Like,
Like
it was.
guys
yeah.
and girls. We
Yeah.
were the best class.
I think so.
Stand by it.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
yep.
and even my sister, who was 2 years younger,
Yeah.
was like, it started going downhill after y'all
Boring.
graduated.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry we had to
really
leave.
did.
Yeah, and so I'm like, for her to even say that, like, she's
There
not
you
like, my class was great. And she's like, it's even worse after her class. Like, who knows what it's like even now. But
Every
like,
year just gets worse
Yeah.
and worse.
I'm like, sorry,
We really
we
set the bar high.
we brought all the good vibes.
Oh my God. Thank you guys so much for coming and doing this. This is so fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
now we're going to go make a nice steak dinner. So we'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening.
Yay.